What's up, boys? Welcome back to another video. Today, we are doing the top 25, week 6, I believe, top 25 college basketball rankings. Loaded week of college basketball. A lot of upsets, so this rankings look a little different than what we've seen in the past. So it's a pretty big changes in here. Let's get right into it. Starting at number 25, Northwestern Wildcats. Northwestern athletics has just been taking a big step after big step in all sports, entering the top 25 in basketball. I was gonna have them higher than this, but they did lose to Iowa by a little bit. Also by about 15, so I had to move them down. I didn't quite move them out of the top 25. I was gonna have Washington State here at 25, but they lost just yesterday, so I had to take them out. So Northwestern is gonna be at 25 this week. Northwestern, obviously, Big Ten championship game appearance, and now they're ranked in basketball. It's just been a big year for Northwestern athletics, and that program is definitely on the rise in both sports. Also, yes, this does mean the North Carolina Tar Heels are not ranked in the top 25. Had to move them out. Really struggling in more ways than one. Turnovers have been a big issue, although yesterday's game was a big step up there. Three-point shooting is still an issue. Some of freshman guard play has just not been great. UNC currently sitting at 6-4 in the season, 1-2 in ACC play. So yes, they are out of the top 25, unfortunately. Out to number 24, the Clemson Tigers, who entered the rankings for the first time for me. Clemson, another basketball program that's on the rise, 2 straight the top 25. A big win over Florida State just about a week or so ago. I like this team a lot. I do not think they will maintain a spot in the top 25, but right now I have to give it to them. Only one loss in the season. Looking pretty good right now. Number 23, the NC State Wolfpack, who still is only one loss to St. Louis in a game that they were shorthanded in. So you gotta give them credit for it. They've been looking really good this season. They have a big matchup against Clemson coming up, I believe Tuesday. That'll be interesting. So really looking forward to that one. On to number 22, the Duke Blue Devils, who I just can't really move. I really want to move them out of the top 25, but I haven't done it yet. And considering they are about to play their first ACC game this week, that'll determine how I move them in the rankings. But I had to just leave them here since they haven't played in so long. Even though I could have moved them out if I wanted to. Number 21, another ACC team. Florida State suffered a loss to Clemson, which right now is not looking like a bad loss at all, because Clemson's a very good team. But Florida State, they're not playing as well as I thought they would. Losses to UCF and Clemson on the year, both within their last 3 games. I still think this is a very good team, very underrated team still. But just some tough games that they did come in with a loss in, so I had to move them down. Number 20, another ACC team. People are saying the ACC is bad this year. I mean, yes, there's no definitive best team, but there's a lot of top 25 caliber teams. I mean, NC State, Louisville could be in here, but they're not. Virginia, Duke, quote unquote. Syracuse 6-1. Virginia Tech, obviously Clemson. There is good talent in the ACC. It's just not a definitive number one who is I'd say, NCAA tournament favorite or anything like that. So yeah, Virginia Tech now at 20 with only one loss in the season, so I had to be here at 20 right now. Number 19, Rutgers, who did move down a little bit from the last rankings a couple weeks back. Rutgers still a good team, definitely 100% a top 25 team. I think 19 is fair for them right now. I don't think that this team will maintain a top 25 ranking, if I'm being honest with you. But right now they're at 2 losses. Still a good team with losses to Iowa and Ohio State, who I'm not very high on this year. But yeah, 19 for Rutgers. Number 18, Minnesota. Another one of those teams that I don't want to say came out of nowhere, but they're a good team, man. They deserve to be in the top 18 right now. Only one loss in this season, so yeah, 18 for Minnesota with a big win over Iowa. Number 17 is the Missouri Tigers, who just recently suffered their first loss of the season. They're looking really good. Another one of those teams coming out of absolute nowhere. They did not play Tennessee very well at all, so I had to move them down a little more than I probably would have. But yeah, 17 for Missouri. 16 Texas Tech. I know they have 3 losses, but I did not move them down very much at all, because I still am pretty high on that Oklahoma State team, which is their most recent loss. So I believe this is down like 3 or so spots. I still think it's a good team. I think they're better than all the teams behind them, which is why I have them here at 16 this week. Number 15, the Virginia Cavaliers, who moved down after a tough loss against Gonzaga, which I wanted to punish them really bad for it, but like Gonzaga is by far and away the best team in the country, so I couldn't do but so much to hurt them in this week's rankings. So yeah, number 15 now for Virginia, I think is fair. 14, Michigan State. Michigan State was in almost a top 5 for me, I believe, but they've just been moving down and down every single week with some pretty big losses. They had that Duke win, which got them rose them very high in the rankings, but like I said, Duke is not a very good team in my opinion. And with the losses to Northwestern, Wisconsin, and Minnesota back to back, this is where they are right now. So in a big game against Rutgers coming up, which will be interesting to see how that works out. Number 13, Illinois, who is moving up in my rankings after their almost 3 straight losses. They've won, I believe, 3 straight now since that loss to Rutgers. Haven't lost since then. They've looked good, and a big game against Northwestern coming up for them. Number 12, Michigan, a team who is just not losing basketball games, so I can't move them anywhere. They're playing good basketball. Juwan Howard is coaching this team very, very well. They have a game against Northwestern today, actually, but it's too late for me to factor in that game in these rankings, so that'll be in the next week's rankings. The number 12 for Michigan. Number 11 is Creighton, who I think this is actually a fair range for them to maintain throughout the season. Obviously, now that they're getting into conference play, won't be much tougher competition for them to face throughout the year. But just Villanova is really the only team left that they have to really worry about, and Xavier's pretty good as well. But yeah, number 11 is where I expect this Blue Jays team to maintain throughout the season. 10 is West Virginia. There are 3 losses now. I really like this team. I think their front court is absolutely fantastic, but a big loss to Oklahoma hurt them. I still think it's a top 10 team in the country, which is why I put them here. Probably could have moved them a little lower, but I think number 10 right now is fair. But that loss to Oklahoma does not look good right now, but they played Kansas well, so. Number 9 is the Wisconsin Badgers, who after their one loss to Marquette have looked pretty good. Just beat Minnesota, tough loss to Maryland, but they beat Michigan State, and they absolutely obliterated Louisville. So I think this is a good team. I do not think this is a top 10 team by any means, but right now I think number 9 is fair and where they deserve to be right now. Number 8, Iowa, moving up, I believe, 2 spots from last week. Obviously, probably leading candidate for Player of the Year, Luka Garza on the squad. A big win against Rutgers just yesterday, followed by a big win against Northwestern. So they've had 3 tough matchups in a row, 2 of the 3 which they have won. So I think that definitely deserves for them to move up in the rankings this week. Yeah, number 8 for Iowa. Number 7 is the Houston Cougars, who finally lost their first game of the season a couple days ago against Tulsa. Very, very close game. They only lost that one by 1, so I didn't move them down by much. They definitely should have beat Tulsa, but I did not want to fault them that much because it was just a sloppy game overall that we're not usually used to seeing from Houston. Number 6, Kansas, coming off a basically a destruction loss almost against Texas. They were not really in that game at any point. Texas really dominated them, but Kansas had proven themselves all year. They've had a tough schedule so far, so I can only move them down but so much. So number 6 for them. Number 5 is the Tennessee Volunteers, who did just lose to Alabama the other day, but they've really been outplaying my expectations. Honestly, I like this team a lot. They do have a big win against Missouri, which helps them. So yeah, number 5 for Tennessee. Number 4 is Texas, man. Number 4 is Texas. Only the one loss to Villanova, who is above them in the rankings right now. Shaka Smart has really done a great job with this team, and they're playing really good basketball right now. Number 3, Villanova, taking Kansas's place in the 3rd spot. Villanova, obviously a great team. Only the one loss to Virginia Tech earlier in the year, which is a ranked opponent, which they lost against, so not a big deal there. So yeah, number 3 for them. And then the top 2 obviously are not really debatable at this point. Baylor at 2, and Gonzaga Bulldogs at number 1. Undoubtedly the best team in the country in my opinion, and I expect it to stay like this as they enter conference play. I don't think they're going to go undefeated by any means, but this is a fantastic team, and I expect them to be very close to it. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Turn on the post notification bell. Watch the videos that I've been putting out lately, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.